Alrighty, looks like we're live. Hello, hello, hello. Let me get the link out. We can begin. Oh, Okay. Let me get this out into Minds. And then I joined another site called Abyss Cafe. That one's a little newer though. I'm not too familiar with it yet, but working on learning a little more about it and trying to grow a little bit of a presence on there. And then I'll get it to the Discord servers. Let's see here. Had a tad bit of a scare just there actually, because it ended up my program that I used to live stream ended up telling me that it was a bad request, and it's like the issue with seeing that is that it is so vague that I wouldn't even know where to begin trying to fix that problem. But thankfully it booted back up, so we're all good there. Okay, now it's out on Minds. Let's get it out to this this news site, this cafe. There we go. Alrighty. And now we'll get it out to the servers, then we'll begin. Oh, let's see here. Here. And finally, there. Alrighty. Now all the links are up. Let's get going. Let me pull up the chat so I can see if anybody is speaking to me. Alrighty. Nobody in the chat yet, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and continue. Oh, Alrighty, here. Let me. Oh, I forgot to. One second. Forgot to grab my stack of books to pull the mic a little closer to me. And I sincerely hope that this helps. Helps. It's so that I come through clearer and I feel like I'm speaking to you guys and not, to the side of anybody. Okay. I got my water with me. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Looking forward to this. Yeah, last couple of days, I've had some health issues going on and been in quite a bit of pain. And last night, oh gosh, I ended up getting a little sick, but it was unrelated to the health issues. So it's like, you get ill on that, and then you got something else going on top of that. So it was just, past few days been a bit of a headache, but looking forward to getting back to this, because we left on a good, there was some really good setup going on here. So we've got Michael revisiting the past, or a vision of the past. Not entirely certain yet exactly what we're experiencing here. And we are looking to save, or try to prevent the happenings to Morgana, though I don't know, I'm a little skeptical. I don't know if we could really turn back the clock on that. But we are learning a little more about the reincarnated characters and what their role was in everything. Like we met the reincarnated version of Pauline. We met. I don't think we met Nellie yet, but we know that Nellie was a reincarnated character. Then obviously Mel. Then seems like we'll be meeting Yukimasa pretty soon, or whatever his name will be here. And then the guy who runs everything is clearly Jacopo. So we'll see if we beat all of them today. But I'm not entirely sure I'm going to do like a multi-hour one, but I mean, we'll see, because, you know, if I get into it and enjoy it, then we'll keep going. But like I said, not 100% right now, so, you know, if I get a little tired and such, might have to put it down. Anyways, let's continue. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm gonna adjust myself a little bit because the way the light's coming in, it's kind of blocking the screen. Typically, I'm doing this in the evening, so, you know, not used to having the television have the sunlight hitting it. Okay. Now to be the next one. Yep, here we are. And where we last left off, what ended up happening, from what I believe, from what I remember, is the nun gave us the vial full of the quote-unquote miracle cure, and we know, seeing the visions and such from Morgana, we know that's actually Morgana's blood. So, Mel can't have that secret getting out, so he's kind of pulled us aside. So let's see what we're going to do next. Okay. Mel doesn't say a word the entire way. His smile has retreated, and there's a hint of fear lurking beneath his now stony expression. I spend the trek through the mansion's corridors, pondering how to answer the questions I know are coming. How to solve the problem I put myself in. We enter a bedroom, presumably his, and he closes the door behind us. I can see the distrust in his eyes as he glares at me. I have to ask, who exactly are you? Why did you say that back there? That Saint's blood is actual blood. In response to his pressing, shit. Well, it's a good thing I saved right before this, isn't it? Oh, no. God, this is how we start this session, eh? Oh, boy. Oh, damn. Yeah, I'm not sure. Tell him everything or tread carefully. Let's see here. The thing is, like, if we tell him everything, that could get him to react in a way where he feels like he has to tell the others. But at the same time, treading carefully might make him suspicious in which he tells the others. This hurts. Okay. Um, I think we're gonna tread carefully because I just I don't know if Mel would immediately go back to. Uh, Damn, this is just such a. Of all the choices so far, this one's actually stumping me the most. We're gonna try to carefully just because we just don't know how he'll react. Oh, hey, Edgy. Hello, Brett. Yeah, I'm feeling better than last night. My I'm still like a little health issue I got going on. That's still bugging me a little bit, so probably won't go too long. But no, they what made that what made me miserable last night was the fact that, and I explained in the beginning of this, it's like, I have a health issue going on, and then I got sick, like kind of sick on top of that, and that just was not a good combo. uh, so good to see you, and good to see Edgy. Damn, I do not know what I'm gonna pick here. Okay. I think treading carefully is going to be the best bet, but we'll see. We don't have much time, but it's in our best interest to tread carefully. There's too much we don't know yet. It would not be wise to make a rash decision. With him as tense and suspicious as he is right now, it won't be easy to get his key or persuade him to tell us how he ended up here. Furthermore, my experiences with the three shades tell me that if I'm not careful, I could be putting myself in unimaginable danger. Well, man, I hope you're doing better. That's yeah. No, I'm okay. Um, it was probably a reaction to this health issue that I've got. I have to just watch what I'm, taking in, and even though I've recently gotten to clear, like, being able to open up to other things I can eat and drink, I think that I may have, I may have pushed the boundaries there, even though that I got the go ahead. I need to just ease back into things that I used to, eat and drink and such. Anyways, a brief flash of what might have happened had I spoken too soon crosses my mind, sending a chill down my spine. If I want to get Mel on my side, I'm gonna need something decisive. Something that'll convince him he needs to come clean and set Morgana free. Regardless, being cautious isn't going to mean much if I can't get them to let us stay in the mansion. We need to be nearby to keep an eye on things, gather information. How to go about that, though? Assuming he's not voluntarily involved, maybe all we have to do is ask for his help in setting Morgana free, and he'll work with us? Perhaps. Being so direct will only invite more suspicion, but she's probably on the right track. When I met his shadow, it was burdened with great regret. He begged me to help him. My remark about the saint's blood was based on stories I once heard about a person whose blood was said to have healing properties. Stories? Maybe they haven't made it out this far. I don't know. But they tell of a girl who was born in a distant village, a saint and the daughter of God. I thought that perhaps the nun might be the saint spoken of in the stories, I was hoping for the opportunity to see a miracle performed before my eyes. I have to say, you looked more angry than excited. I didn't hide it very well, I guess. Maybe it appeared that way to you, but I've never had a very friendly face. If you say so. As long as you're telling the truth. I myself have to wonder. Why did my remarks seem to bother you so much? What? Is there something more to the saint's blood than you're telling me? No. Something that would make you want to get me alone and interrogate me? There's nothing. I just, didn't want to scare anyone with all the talk of blood, since there's not actually any in it. You liar. I didn't know about the stories, so... It's just medicine, I swear. As you say. It's got nothing to do with that saint in your stories. To change the subject, could I ask you to convince the nun to allow me to stay here? Huh? Weren't you listening? We can't take anyone in right now. Which is why I'm asking for your recommendation. You live in the premises, don't you? I'm more a supervisor of sorts. Yeah, supervising the near corpse in the attic. Yeah. Mel, why do you lie? Yeah, given everything that all the characters have been through, Michael would definitely be in the right to well, maybe not the right, but it'd be understandable if starts grabbing Mel by his collar and putting him against the wall, demanding that he does stuff. Then you should have some say in the matter. Why? Until the Harvest Festival is all I'm asking. Why not get a room at the inn? If you need money, I'll spare you some coin. I must stay at this mansion. But why? 1 second, this is gonna drive me nuts. Sorry, I gotta turn off the Discord sounds. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, Edgy, Michael, you lie as you breathe. Yeah. And good morning, Mira. Hope you're doing well. But why? Those are my instructions. What? The stained glass window in the chapel behind the pulpit? I was named after the Archangel Michael depicted there. The angel came to me in a vision, instructing me to watch over the festival here. Is he going to buy that? From where you were standing, you couldn't possibly have seen the window in that much detail. You couldn't. Oh, I get it. You've been to the church before, and you're just acting like you haven't. There's a metal door off to the side, leading to an observation tower. Yeah, you can see the tower from the outside. Inside is a long spiral staircase. Not made of stone, but wood. You feeling uncomfortable now, Mel? There's a single door at the top of the stairs. How? what are you really here for? All that vision stuff is a lie. I'm not here to cause you any trouble. In fact, I'm on your side. You show up out of nowhere and expect me to believe your nonsense? All I ask for you is to allow me to stay here until the day of the festival. If you can do that for me, then I'll make you the promise I could not before. I've not forgotten your pleas for salvation. I know you want to be free. Let me guess, you saw that in a vision too? If you want to call it that, then you can. I've never once asked for you to save me. You're mad. But fine. I've got nothing to hide anyway. Oh, bull. If you say you're a friend, the Saintess should be willing to accommodate you. If I say that you're a friend, I'm sorry. Wait, I already told you were my friend, didn't I? I'll try and persuade her. I don't know what your deal is, but try to not cause any trouble, okay? For your own sake. I won't. Only until the festival. You're not getting another day out of me or her. And this isn't your home, so don't act like it is. Of course. Thank you. You know, I never did get your name. It's Michael. And yes, I know. A lot of people in comments before have told me it's Michelle. Instead of Michelle, because there's a difference with the French. I just, there's so many names I've already butchered here. I'm just rolling with it. I'm sorry if that bugs you. Because what's going to happen, same thing with Jacopo. I'll say Jacopo. I'll go back and forth. And it's just easier for me, please. Right. After the Archangel, Michael. Just like you said. I've never really cared much for Michael, to be honest. He weighs your soul in one hand on his perfectly balanced scales, then delivers its punishment with the sword in its other. He's not an angel of salvation. Well, I'm not sure if I agree with that, just because the whole point is he holds the sword because the being that he threw out of heaven, the devil or Satan, he created the imbalance. But this is from the Christian mythological perspective, because in this case it's like if this is a story of good versus evil, then the evil creates the imbalance. But I suppose that bugged me just because Mel was the one who, once he was reincarnated, he's like, he's studying at a, chapel and everything, studying with a church and everything, he's even considering joining the priesthood, so it's interesting that he would bring this up. Out of curiosity, could you perhaps be... No, never mind. It's turned into a bit of a storage area. But there's an open room you can use. I'll show you the way. I appreciate your courtesy. If you think this is the nuttiest thing you've seen from the French, you gotta see the Fist of the North. It's fine. Oh, probably my. Oh, okay. Good to know, Mira. And understand, it's nothing. It's just like I said. I've heard so many names that at this point I was just like, no, I'm not gonna do the whole explanation or flip flop of the name each time. uh. Well, this is just lovely. There are cracks in the ceiling and the walls peeling off. There is a bed at least, but it's coated in dust. This was a storeroom when I lived here, as I recall. Sorry about the condition. I didn't choose a bad room for you on purpose, I promise. If you want to sleep somewhere more comfortable, you're not going to find that here. Not a problem. I'm grateful to have a room at all. If you say so. Well, I have work to do, so I should be on my way. I'll talk to the Saintess, as promised. I imagine she'll make supper for you at some point. But do keep your crazy talk to yourself around her. I'll make a note of it. Thank you. See you. We made it work. Somehow. Somehow. It's a lot of pressure being under that much suspicion, huh? My heart was pounding the whole time. And that the Archangel... I'm sorry. And that the Archangel Michael came to me in a vision stuff. I never expected you to go there. Why'd you tell him that anyway? Because I didn't think telling him, I know the future, and I need your help to change it, would have gone over very well. Besides, those who yearn for redemption have a tendency to latch on to the spiritual. I thought taking advantage of that would work to our benefit. You know, I bet you'd make a pretty good con artist, Michael. That's not something you tell somebody. I did what I thought was necessary. I know. Besides, you have every intention of keeping your promise, don't you? Whether or not Mel can be saved is up to him. I will lend him my hand, though. Oh, you said it's all on him, but deep down, you know you're on his side. We're complete strangers to this Mel, but I can't bring myself to think of him that way. We just met today, but it feels like reuniting with an old friend. He's the same old Mel. And you were actually there, a part of his life, which I imagine makes the sentiment all the stronger. You don't feel the same way? Oh yeah! No, that's the other part that we forgot. Apparently Michael thinks that the white-haired girl is Morgana. That part still blows my mind. Who is the white-haired girl if it is not a reincarnated chunk of Michael? I cannot wait for that. That's I cannot wait for that. If there is more to that, then I want to know. I'm curious if if she is not a reincarnated portion of Michael. I do wonder if the white-haired girl is a whole nother character, or maybe Michael's right and it's actually Morgana. But to me, it's like that just doesn't make much sense to me because Morgana was always like an entity onto the side, and I don't know. The interactions that the white-haired girl had with other characters just wouldn't make sense to me, considering how Morgana hated some of these people. So, anyways, Edgy Penguin, not Z French. I have primarily English ancestry and lived with a Francophilic stepsister. Fun times. I do like a lot of French things, but those typically happen in the past. France, going 1900 on, I'm kind of like, eh. I don't think of him as a total stranger, no. However, nothing. I was about to say something incredibly cynical, but I caught myself. What? It's nothing. Don't worry about it. If you say so. I was always the one with nothing to offer, powerless to be of anyone's help. So if anything's motivating me, it's not concern for the boy, but a desire to prove that someone like me can do something. It didn't take much arm twisting to get him to give us a room, so who knows? Maybe they'll come over to our side easier than either of us expect. Him giving us a room was not simply out of kindness. Keeping me nearby allows him to keep an eye on me. He doesn't trust me, but he also doesn't know enough about me to decide what to do yet. He needs time, and doing this gives him that time. If he decides keeping me around is not to his advantage, he will act accordingly. Do you really think he'll do anything to hurt you? Mel's a kind boy, and, well, to be frank, I don't think he has the spine for it. It's hard to say, but even if he doesn't, we still have the other two men to worry about. Nevertheless, his cooperation will undoubtedly be the easiest of the three to gain. Yeah, we were fortunate to run into him first. What makes you say that? Did you ever have a chance to see the shadows trapped in the mansion? Shadows. I might have. Yeah, you're asking her, what, to think back over 1,000 and how many years? But around the time Hayden Rhodes passed away, I wasn't really there anymore. I stopped thinking, stopped trying to make sense of the things inhabiting the house. I had become merely another part of the cursed mansion. I was only able to converse with them after I had reclaimed myself. I suppose, much like the rules differ between the realms of the living and the dead, so too do they differ for those who have lost their grip on reality. As I was searching for a way to get you out of the tower, I encountered and spoke with the three men's shadows. Neapolitan era was kinda goated. Yeah, that thing is, though, it's like, I don't really, like, it's interesting that you bring that up, because it's like, even though that, you know, Napoleon leads, like, French culture moving on from there, I almost view those as almost separate, just because Napoleon's just such a grand character in history, or figure in history, that it's almost as if he drags France along with his story, not necessarily the entirety of France. So I don't know, I've always found that period interesting, just because I don't know, like, Napoleon just seemed like such a huge figure that, you know, to me it always seemed weird to kind of just view them as synonymous. Synonymous, holy shit. Anyways, the white-haired girl did make those three men suffer from those first doors, right? Yeah. The white-haired girl did. It's just, I don't know. It's like, just doesn't, like, it feels like Morgana would be open about, because she loves torturing them so much, she'd be giddy to reveal that to everybody. And Morgana was also like, no, that was not me, when it came to the white-haired girl. So, yeah, I'm not so sure I'd buy that. Because Morgana didn't want to pull the strings, she wanted to observe. You know, she wanted to watch the show. Now she may have, like, placed, laid out the game board, but at that point, she just let the players make the moves themselves. Anyways, as I was searching for a way to get you out of the tower, I encountered and spoke with the 3 men shadows. Of the 3, Mel was the least threatening. He bears a great deal of regret. He yearns for someone to save him. I heard him muttering, "This isn't what I wanted." He doesn't want to be involved in this. Someone else is holding the reins. Probably Jacopo, if I'm going to guess. My first guess would be the Lord, but regardless, they are not equals in this endeavor. If he wants out, maybe he would have agreed to help if we told him we're here to save Morgana. Carelessly revealing our hand at this stage did not seem wise. Yeah, I agree. It would never have gotten to this point if it were so easy to stop. So I guess our first task is to earn Mel's trust. Morgana's death is in 3 days. We have until then to get all 3 keys. It won't be easy. I mean, we weren't even present in this world until today. Exactly. We have no one to vouch for us. No one who even knows who we are. But we have knowledge. Quite a bit of it, in fact. We not only know what happens in this era, but you showed me their next lives as well. From that, we can deduce how they might behave and who they have ties, and to whom they have ties. You're right, we do. We know things we should have no way of knowing. And we can use that knowledge to our advantage. The various interpersonal relationships are where we can get our edge, I think. They each have their reasons for locking Morgana up. And if I'm right, they're doing it for other people. It's these powerful bonds driving them. Mel's driving force would be a sister, for instance. Are they mere bonds? Or is it fate that ties them together? You're right. We should find and talk to his sister. Mel is more likely to act if it's coming from her than us. I agree. If his darling sister tells him to stop, he won't have any reason to continue his involvement. Knowing how the first tale ended makes me slightly uncertain. Yeah, baby, if we could plant a seed, we just say, "Look, Nellie, there's lots of fish in the sea, okay? Don't look in the same pond." But for now, we can work under the assumption that he does genuinely care for her. What do you want to bet she's somewhere nearby? I mean, she will be. It was her death that sparked the chaos on the day of the Harvest Festival. Ah, right. It was... No, you're exactly right. But what I was going to say is that people tend to keep those they care about close by. It would appear I have a bad tendency to focus too much on the facts. It was entirely unnecessary of me. Giselle did not need to remind me of that. Oh, Giselle did not need to be reminded of that. I'm sorry. Huh? What for? For being careless with my words. Inconsiderate. No need to apologize for the truth. Besides, you and considerate are like oil and water. Ow! Ugh! And today, you're the fire to my oil. You have 3 days to stop this tragedy. Let's get to work. Let's. We'll probably have more luck asking than just searching for her. If we can't find Mel, the nun might know. Off we go. I missed the interaction between Michael and Giselle. I'm happy that we're back to this. As I step into the chapel, I see an old man waving to the nun as he heads for the door. The man is practically beaming, and judging by the vial in his hand, he's happy about more than simply having the chance to see her. Is that saint's blood? According to Morgana's account, a disease began spreading through the city at the Harvest Festival, eventually eradicating the population. In a time like this, where medical knowledge is so limited, a plague would be almost unstoppable. And the sight of so many people dying so quickly could appear to them the work of a demon or a curse. We come from the future, so we know just how dangerous this is. But they have no idea. Morgana described it as a tale that could have only taken place in an era of miracles and spirituality. And about that, she couldn't be more right. Could we maybe warn everyone against taking the medicine? I assume the sickness was caused by them ingesting blood, at any rate. It's not medicine they're being given, but bottled disease, like some sick joke. If we could convince them to stop taking saint's blood, then maybe that would prevent the city from being destroyed. The fact that it's being distributed in the house of the Lord and peddled as a miracle cure plays right into their deep-rooted spirituality. Would it even be possible to convince them otherwise? And besides, it's not them we came here to save, but... No, it's veering too far off our intended path. We need to find the truth and save Morgana's soul. Putting ourselves out like that is only going to get us unwanted attention, make people suspicious, and we don't have that kind of time. Forgive me. Let's see. Okay, but we don't have that kind of time. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. It's just knowing what they're doing to themselves, I couldn't help but think that maybe there was something we could do. Especially considering how it all turns out. I understand the sentiment. Or rather, I understand your reasoning. But for me, Morgana takes priority over any of them. And you over everything. Releasing Morgana's soul should save yours as well, Giselle. If we can eliminate the mansion's darkness, then you won't have to be trapped as it's made. I have no interest in being the hero of the masses. Let's go ask about Mel's sister then. That is the thing. It's like, what in this world? I would venture to guess that God exists. Now maybe, there's a different, makeup of everything. I don't know, because, reincarnation seems to be a thing, but that could be a curse from Morgana. So maybe it's, one of these things, because, you see this in some Japanese stories where it's like, there's typically like a blending of different faiths and mythologies, religions, and such. So, but anyways, what I'm getting at is, like, I do wonder what kind of happens to the souls in this universe when they pass on. Like, is reincarnation always the result, or does a pure soul finally know peace? Let's go ask about Mel's sister then. Okay. I turned my gaze back toward the nun to keep her kneeling in... Oh, I'm sorry. To keep her... No, not. I turned my gaze back toward the nun to find her kneeling in one of the pews. She bows her head and begins to whisper a prayer. There's no one else in the chapel. Now's the perfect time to ask. Hearing me approach, she falls silent and turns to face me, wearing her usual disarming smile. Hello, Michael. Noah's just here. He told me everything. Can't turn away from a friend of Mel's now, can we? Sorry for turning you down earlier. No worries. I did a poor job of explaining myself. So, did you need something? Let me guess. Medicine? No, I'm in perfectly good health. I figured you were lying. Lying to a nun. I can ask her about the Saint's blood some other time. And while I have a number of questions about the man she's close with too, right now, Mel's sister's priority. Are you familiar with Mel's younger sister? She has flaxen hair, much like him. Oh, you mean Nellie? Are you her friend too? I also find it interesting that Nellie and Mel retain their names once they're reincarnated, but Yukimasa, you're probably not going to find somebody of an Asian ethnicity in this part of Europe at this time. And Jacopo was Italian, if I'm remembering correctly, so he's a little more plausible, but even there, not as likely. So I wonder what their two names are going to be. I would say you're better off just saying you're friends. Friends, yes. What about her? I would like to speak with her, and I was wondering if you might know where I could find her. Nellie should be down at the cottage, I believe. The cottage? Yep, that's where I stay too. I don't sleep in the mansion itself. So you don't live here, but only work here? Right. For once, there are men who live here. The Lord likes to show up on occasion too, and we can't have a nun wandering around while he's here. So you and Nellie live alone? So you and Nellie live together then? Yep. We have for about 6 months or so. Ever since she and Mel showed up. I wanted to let her stay with her brother. But since this is technically church property, we have to keep the boys and girls separate. I see. I'm so glad to hear Nellie's got a friend, though. What? She's not from around here, so she doesn't have many acquaintances. And with how sick she can get, she doesn't spend much time outside. Which is a shame, because she's such a sweet little girl. I'm her friend, of course, but I've got responsibilities. I can only be around so often. So I'm sure she'd be delighted to have someone else to talk to. It would be my pleasure. Could you, tell me the way to the cottage, then? Oh, sure. It's not that far from here. You go down. The directions I got from the nun lead me to a place I know from my own time. It's the same building where the man who had been ordered to keep me under surveillance stayed. Sunlight seeps relentlessly through the trees, and I find myself having to look down at my feet as I follow the path. It's blindingly bright, painful. How are you holding up, Michael? I'll be all right. The sun's past its peak. In a few hours, it won't be nearly as bad. Don't push yourself, okay? Okay. The trek is a reminder of just how inconvenient my body always was. And having this chance to experience being alive again comes with both the good parts and the bad. Now, where's my water? But now is hardly the time to complain about my sensitivity to the sun. Ooh. It's not long before we reach a clearing. A small cottage. Yeah, that's a fucking word. It's not long before we reach a clearing. A small cottage surrounded by a small garden coming into view. And crouching by a flower bed, picking flowers, is the flaxen-haired girl. Are you Nellie? I like her design much more in this one. This version of Nellie. I don't know, something, I don't know if it was just me, but there was something a little uncanny about her face for some reason. I cannot explain why. But it might just be the, like in this one, the characters are looking directly at us. Whereas in all the doors that we explored, like they were always like three-quarter faced. I forgot the name of that term. So maybe it was just the direction that we looked at the character. Anyways. Though several details of her appearance don't match my memory of her, she still has the distinct hair. It could be nobody else. Or, or maybe it was answered right there. This Nellie is considerably thinner and looks rather frail. The effects of her being ill, I presume. Who are you? My name is Michael. I have a few questions to ask you. Can we talk for a bit? I would have thought she'd have said something by now. You're being way too blunt, Michael. You've gone and scared her. What else was I supposed to say? You have to approach slowly, carefully. Go on, give her a smile. Oh, no! That might be a bad idea. I don't know if Michael, I don't know if Michael can smile on command like that. A nice, soft smile. Smile. I'm only here to talk. Yeah. There's nothing to be afraid of. Okay, that is definitely not a nice smile. I can't even see it, and I can still tell. What did you expect? I can't just smile on demand. Eek! It's a bad man! A bad man's come to kidnap me. Save me, dearest Mel, before this bad man does bad things to me. Calm down, please. Poor Michael. I'm not gonna do anything to you. Eek, don't get any closer. I know you're trying to do bad things to me. I'm not gonna do bad things to you. I couldn't, even if I wanted to. Don't move or I'll call the cards on you. Please, calm down. I mean you no harm, honestly. That's what all bad men say. True. No, Giselle, don't just watch. This would be a fantastic time for a little advice. Got it. Maybe she'll calm down if you mention Mel. You're a genius. I'm a friend of Mel's. What? He was telling me about you, and you wanted someone to talk to. He asked me to keep you company. Mel asked you to come talk to me? He did. Do you trust me now? So that makes you his friend then? As much as it pains me to admit it. Michael! What on earth possessed you to say that? Slip of the tongue. You and him? Is that so? Mm, yes. You're pretty old to be friends with my Mel. Are you really, really, really his friend? Really? Then prove it. How so? If you're really his friend, you should be able to tell me about him. Why in God's name would you ever subject me to that? Do you not like Mel, Michael? That's not it. We're just incompatible. Hey. Sorry, my dog was doing something. Okay, here we go. First question. What is my Mel like most of all? He does not like theater. He does not like naps. It's got to be her. Michael, you are sus as fuck. Yeah, he is. I think I trust the Cheshire Cat smile more. Yeah. Okay, it's gotta be Nelly. You think so too? You think I'm his favorite thing in the whole wide world? I like to believe that's what he thinks. I think it'd be wonderful I could always be his number one. Her excessive love for her brother is still out in full force, I see. Second question. What kind of person is my Mel? Oh, now, this is probably what Michael wants to say. But this is what Nelly wants to hear. That's right. He's a very nice guy. He can have his head in the clouds sometimes. But other than that, he's perfect. You know your stuff. To be honest, I was just saying what you wanted to hear. Yep. Hello. Hello, puppy. How you doing? Let me take that off you. There you go. Go girl. Oh, go girl. There's a good puppy. Me and my big mouth. Okay, final question. Describe what he looks like for me. Like you. I want to click on these, but... Isn't he? He's like a modern-day Adonis. That's pretty far. That might be a bit of a... Oh, man. Well, it's official. Me and Michael, our minds are melded pretty closely right now. That might be a bit of a stretch. Mel could be a prince in a fairy tale. He's got the most perfect face. May I ask you something? You do realize he's still growing, right? And that can change a man in unimaginable ways. He could end up 2 heads taller, shoulders twice as broad, and covered in muscle before you realize what's happened. And body hair, lots of that. Facial hair as thick as these woods. What are you doing? Would you still consider Mel your prince if that happened to him? Mel, with a beard and muscles. I won't have it. That's not my Mel at all. You're heading into dangerous waters, Mel. My Mel would never, ever grow a beard. I'll pray every day to make sure of it. And he won't get all big and muscly either. There's nothing princely about any of that. I don't know. I know quite a few women who want their princess to be just like that. Lumberjack princes, if you want to call it that. I wouldn't mind some muscles myself. Out of curiosity, did you ever want to be buff like that, Michael? Well, yes, of course. Every man wants to be strong and well built. I don't think that beefy look would work on you. Well, that's the last of my questions. You're not a complete stranger, it seems. Sure, why not? You can be my Mel's friend. Why, thank you. This is great. I was sure you were a bad man. Why is that the first impression everyone has of me? Is never that I'm something... I'm sorry, fuck! Let me try that again. Why is it that the first impression everyone has of me is never that I'm someone decent? Well, I mean, with everything you've been through, you don't know how to socialize. Any friend of Mel's must be a good person. No, an amazing person. It's quite the faith you have in him. Why wouldn't I? He's my big brother. That's some circular logic. Is it just you? Is Mel not coming? He's rather busy at the moment. Oh, he always has something to take care of, that Mel. He's hardly given me any attention these past couple of months. That's okay, because today I got you to keep me company. Yes, you do. I can't stay long, though. Alright, just until sundown, then. You have something you wanted to ask me, didn't you? Well, if you're a good enough friend, I'll tell you anything you want to know. And how do I go about that? Talking. Lots and lots of talking. You have to keep me entertained. You're asking far too much of me. She's not asking much at all. She just wants to talk. Do you think someone who's spent 13 years in isolation knows the first thing about holding a pleasant conversation? Hey now, I was there for a year of that. I'll help you come up with some topics, so go on. Do you not want to talk to me? No, I do. I'm just not much of a conversationalist. Okay, then instead of talking, you can sing. I've never seen a minstrel before, so I've always wanted to know what kinds of song they sing. Will you show me? I'm gonna guess Michael's not a good singer. I've never seen one myself either. But I've heard secondhand accounts of the songs of traveling jongleurs? Jongleurs? Fuck it. Very well then. I'll teach you a song an old acquaintance of mine heard while traveling. Eee, I can't wait. Here goes. Yeah, you suck at singing. Yep. The silence is deafening. I'm shocked. I don't think I've ever heard someone sing so badly. Me neither. I'm flabbergasted. Let's hear you try then. That's enough singing for today. I don't want my ears to fall off. Damn. What a vicious little girl. I know. Let's bake something. Bake something? come on inside. I made some nice jam earlier today. And I want to make it into a I want to make it into a pretty little pie. You get to help me with that. I'm not much of a... Hey, remember who's in your head right now. Come on, get a move on. You either help or you don't get to be my friend. As you wish. This is not going to end well. Come on, Giselle, you can do it. Let's see. I went to get breakfast and I come back to this. What'd you have for breakfast, man? It's my favorite meal of the day. He's a spineless chump. That would be something I'd like to say. Yeah. Michael is not going to Hollywood. No. Nellie must be Simon Cowell's ancestor. Pancakes and eggs, always a good choice. I'm mostly an omelet guy myself. Gotta watch what I'm putting in the omelet, though, these days. The biggest thing that I gotta be careful of is, like, certain cheeses and dairy stuff. Like, I can have them, but lately I've just... my body does not react well to like, things that are, like, very fatty and dairy. So I gotta... Oh, boy. Sorry, I don't mean to keep bringing that up. It's just, like, literally as I'm playing, every once in a while, I'm feeling pain, and it's hard to sometimes ignore. Excuse me. Wow. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. How on earth do you manage to turn a pie into this monstrosity? I gave it my best shot. There's only one explanation. You're possessed. It's true, he is. But I'm a perfectly good chef. Michael's just naturally terrible at it. Wow. Michael got... Oh my God, Michael. You got Giselle to throw you under the bus. Giselle. Wow. I probably wouldn't even eat this pie. God, could this go any worse? I can't give this to Mel. Jerk, dimwit, loser. I'm sorry. Oh. Well, guess we got no choice but to eat it ourselves. Oh, that brought your smile back. I'll set the table. What? And I'll make us some tea while I'm at it. You know, I've always dreamed of this. Sitting around a table with a friend, having snacks and just talking. Oh? Yep, and for that, I can deal with a little awful, disgusting pie. It's just too bad I couldn't share it with my Mel, too. I see. For all her complaining, she seems to be enjoying herself. I can only imagine how lonely she is out here. Well, she may act all bright and cheerful. Beneath it is a real sense of isolation. And the same can be said about the girl from behind the first door. As vivacious and pushy as she can be, you could see hints of loneliness behind it all. And her brother was practically all she had while she lived at the mansion. But if I were to guess, she's not the life... That's not the life she really wanted. I bet she would have preferred to be able to go out and play with friends. Being born into a noble family takes away a lot of your freedom. Even in such drastically different time periods, she's still the same girl inside. Actually, maybe the parallels extend beyond her as a person and into the courses of her two different lives. Perhaps that means all those who were reconstructed at Morgana's wish are destined to lead similar lives. Though destined might be putting it too nicely. Nellie. I'd be glad to lend you my ear if you would like. You can talk about the weather or your brother. Anything you want. You will? Great, take a seat. I've got lots I want to talk about. More than you could possibly imagine. And you'll never guess what Mel said next. That I mean more to him than anyone in the world. So I'm growing flowers out in the garden, right? Well, when I've got enough of them, I'm going to make a big bouquet and give it to Mel.
This obsession with your brother is not healthy.
Back at home, we've got this really, really big yard with this huge tree we used to take naps under when it was nice out. So what do you think about the tea I made? The flower petals, what really ties it all together. Ooh, rose petal tea is so good. Oh, and you won't believe what happened after that. Oh my god, it actually... I don't have any right now. Oh man. Damn, yeah, I could really go for some rose petal tea right now. Care for another cup of tea? I'll make you as much as you could drink. No, thank you. I'm fine. I feel like all he did was nod and listen. And the bulk of it was about Mel, no less. I haven't talked that much in ages. Time sure flew by, huh? The sun's starting to set. Do you and the nuns speak much? Not speak much? We do, but it's kind of... I don't know. Not really the same with her. It just feels, I guess, like she's too important for me to waste her time. Being the lady in charge of the church, and pretty much the whole estate. And what about Mel? Does he not visit you very often? No, he does. He comes to see me a lot. Then why? He hasn't been himself lately. My old Mel would always happily listen to whatever I had to say, but now he seems kind of distracted. Sounds like he's really busy. When he visits, he doesn't stay for long, and he has to go back to the mansion at night. I'll try to get him to stay longer, but it never works. And he always avoids the question when I ask him why he can't. Feels like he's hiding something. Knowing what he's hiding, I can understand why he wouldn't want to talk about it. He could never tell his precious little sister that he and 2 other men have kept a girl locked up in a tower, and that he's stealing her blood for her sake. I wish things could have stayed the way they were before. And the way they were before? When it was just the 2 of us living together. I know we're more stable here, and I can get the medicine I need from the church. But I'd rather stay being sick than so alone. You said you came here around 6 months ago? Yep, it was just 2 of us before that. Well, before that, at our old house, we had a bunch of servants. But I never really liked it there either. With that many people around, I just felt more alone. I liked it so much better when it was just me and Mel. Is that really what you want? To be sick and in constant pain? It's better than being alone. Mel just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand that the loneliness is so much worse. Or maybe that's just a guy thing. They don't get what it's like to be ignored. What it feels like to be left in the dark, not knowing anything. We don't understand, no. We think saving their lives matters above all. Huh? Even if there's a cost to saving that life, we're incapable of gauging how great it is. We're unable to see how egotistical, how self-serving our actions are. Are you talking about yourself? The same could be said of Mel as well, I imagine. Mel's still around though. He's there, but it's like he's trying to avoid me. All I want for him is to be here. To be with me. That's all I really want. He doesn't even have to be perfect. A perfect fairy tale prince. Have you ever told him that? What? Have you ever told him that he doesn't need to be the perfect brother? And that you'd be happy with just having him there? Have you ever put those feelings into words? I'm always telling him I want him around. And that he doesn't want to be your prince to do so? And that he doesn't have to be your prince to do so? He's already said he will be my prince. And he always smiles whenever I talk about it. So how am I supposed to turn around and say he doesn't have to be my prince anymore? I know it's not your intention to force an ideal image onto him, but unconsciously, subconsciously, and that's what you're doing when you talk like that. And Mel, he's trying to meet those expectations. Actually, he might not be conscious of it himself. And he just believes, deep down, that that's the kind of person he's supposed to be. Or, more accurately, he seems to have a need to make himself look good to others. He believes that if he's good to others, they'll be good to him in return. Am I a burden? I can assure you, he's better off with you around. But I am a burden on him right now, aren't I? Be honest with me. Yes, you are. Does Mel not like me anymore? Is that why he's been avoiding me? I promise you, that's not the case. At the very least, he's doing what he's doing now because of how much he cares about you. You promise? I promise. I love him. I love my Mel so very much. Too much, in fact. Yeah, you do. Yeah, dial it down a tad. To be honest, I know I do. I understand that, really. I know I'm making his life difficult. But Mel's all I have. He's the only person I can latch onto. And I can't control my feelings. It can be difficult to tame your emotions at your age. There's nothing wrong with that. However, you should have taken stock of those emotions, sorted through everything you've got on your mind, and then sat down with him to talk it out. Even if those things you feel seem wrong or unspeakable. You should have opened up to him, taken time to figure out what works best for the both of you. You two needed to face the things you carried in your heart, the things your brother carried in his. By not doing so, you end up never quite on the same page. Small misunderstandings piling up until it all comes crashing down. If they had just talked it out, communicated their feelings to one another, maybe their tragedy could have been avoided, even with Morgana's curse in play. If Nellie had only had the chance to come to grips with their feelings for Mel, then maybe things wouldn't have escalated the way they did. Her actions that night were arguably hysteric. She wasn't always like that. I'm sorry. That was out of line. None of this is any of my business, I know. No need to apologize. You're a very curious man, you know that? Huh? We only met a couple hours ago, but you talk like you've known me my whole life. It's like you can hear everything I'm thinking, see everything in my heart. Did Mel tell you all that? No, he did not tell me much. I didn't think so. He doesn't know me that well. It's not too late, is it? If I talk to him, really tell him how I feel, do you think Mel will listen? I know he will. It won't make things worse? It won't make him uncomfortable? There is a chance that rifts may form at first, but those cracks can be filled again, and I promise you, the result will be something much better than if you had held it in. It'll all work out. Okay. Next time I see Mel, I'll tell him. I'll tell him he doesn't have to try to be my prince. Good. You really are a curious man. You're the first person to ever talk to me like I'm a real person. Everyone loves to say how sweet and adorable I am, but that's it. I was only ever their make-believe princess. You are a real person, I assure you. Thanks. You know, after talking to you, I'm feeling a whole lot better. Like I can do anything. I'm glad you came by today. And I'm glad I could meet you in person. It's weird. It feels like we've known each other our entire lives. I've known of you for some time. Or perhaps I should say, what you will become. Huh? Oh no, ignore me. Was that supposed to be a pickup line? Bad Michael. I'm still too young for that. No, I wasn't. And now you're getting flustered. I swear, that's not what that was. I know. Jeez, do you really think I trusted you that little? Sorry. Ooh, I just had the most wonderful idea. Oh? Yep. Instead of being my friend, I'll let you be something even better. Huh? You're my second brother. Wow. Got invited into the family very quickly. Second brother? My brother's much more special to me than a friend. Though obviously you can't be my number one. Oh, that's gonna touch Michael's heart quite a bit, actually. I'm blanking. She's taking a liking to you. This is good for us. I'm not sure how I feel about putting so much trust in me quickly, though. The amount of time it takes isn't important. What matters is that you listen to her, you understand her, and you treat her like a real person. In her eyes, you're someone she can depend on. Do you not want me as your sister? Actually, I was the youngest child, so having a younger sibling would be what? Come on, spit it out. It would be rather nice. Especially given what Didier did. I'm still not sure if George has really betrayed Michael that much. But, you know, I really do think that this given how everything fell out with Michael's family, I think that this really speaks to him. You bet it would. Who wouldn't want an adorable little sister like me? And that's a bit narcissistic, wouldn't you say? Well, it's true, isn't it? Go on, tell me I'm adorable, dearest Michael. What? Well, don't just stare at me. If my Mel were here, he wouldn't bat an eye. Please, don't compare me to him. Now might be a good time to tell her about Morgana. Part of me feels like I would be taking advantage of her newly earned trust, but it'll certainly be easier to bring her up now, while she still holds me in such high regard. She's much more likely to believe me. You're right. I agree. Now's probably the best chance we'll get. Especially considering how little time we have. I can't shake the feeling I'm rushing things, but at this point, all I can do is go with it and pray it works out. If we had the time, I think we'd like to hold off. Now it looks like she's having so much fun. And even you seem to be enjoying yourself. No, I'm just... It's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm having fun watching you myself. Let's do it. Let's tell her about Morgana. We have to do it at some point anyway. Yes, let's. Nellie, do you mind if I ask you a question? What is it, dearest Michael? Ask me anything you want. Ugh. Sorry, wow, I really had to drink that. Oh, let's see what the chat is going. Giselle throwing her man under the bus. Yeah, how bad is the pie? Even in life, she's still a broke. Oh, I'm hoping though, once they have her and Mel have that heart-to-heart, that will probably help settle some of those feelings, and she'll actually be able to explore everything deep down. Because I actually do think that because of Nellie's upbringing in her other life, she wasn't allowed to really do that. And that probably led to those unhealthy feelings. Now, I would hope that, once they talk about how they really, view their, their bond between each other as siblings, that will help them just grow together as friends. Poor little girl, whole life now is just around Mel, never got a chance to whole life until now is just around Mel, never got the chance to see. Yeah, that's the other thing too, is like, that's probably another reason why she developed that unhealthy obsession. Yeah, Nelly, you like him a little too much. We're getting Lannister territory. Here's the name George and Michael. Careless whisper intensifies. Beat me to it. Careless whispers saxophone solo. Okay. Anyways. Have you heard of something called Saint's Blood? You mean the medicine? Yes. Except it's not actually... I know. Yeah. It's actually the Saintess's blood, not medicine. But no telling. You... What? One day, before we moved here, when it was just me and Mel, the Saintess came to visit. Her mind had been all foggy for a long time, like I was not quite asleep, but not quite awake either. But when I had heard her soft, pleasant voice, the fog cleared a bit. And then she performed a miracle for me. Blood is awful gross and terrible, but the Saintess's, hers is different. Hers is pure. So you're saying you know everything, Nellie? About the observation tower and... Huh? The tower? What about it? That's where they keep her. What? No, the Saintess is always in the chapel. And she stays here with me. She comes back at nights. In fact, she should be here any minute now. Huh. So, she thinks the Saintess is the nun and not Morgana. No, Nellie. That blood comes from... I'm really, really grateful to her. She didn't just perform the one miracle. She's been taking care of me while I'm here too. So whenever I see her, I always say thank you. I thank her for sharing her blood with me. And she always says it's nothing with a big smile. Nellie, no. The nun has no idea. She just assumes Nellie's thanking her for giving her the medicine. How the Saintess my life? No, Nellie. She's not the one you should be grateful to. Huh? The girl you owe your life to has been locked up, suffering and alone even as we speak. But the Saintess is at the church. The girl who came to visit you is not the nun everyone calls the Saintess. Her name is Morgana. What are you talking about, Michael? The Saintess is locked up? Stop that. I have no idea what you're talking about. Everything I'm telling you is the truth. Please believe me. While you were lying in bed, sick and barely conscious, did you ever get a look at the Saintess who gave you her blood? You didn't, did you? You couldn't make out any of the details because your mind was a haze. And then, when you arrived at this estate, you met a woman, who people call the Saintess, giving out medication known as saint's blood. So you assumed she was the one who had cured you. That's the story you chose to believe. If what you're saying is true, then where is the other Saintess, the one who came to see me? At the top of the mansion's observation tower. The door to the tower is locked. She's imprisoned there. And how do you know this? Because it wouldn't be wise to tell her from the future just yet. That would only serve to confuse her further. All I need to do is convince her right now is that Morgana is being held in the tower. I think this is a good point to save, in case we're about to make a decision. We are going to save it right here. Okay. There's an idea. Perhaps I can borrow from the story the white-haired girl told Mel. I received a letter. A letter? There's a single window, far out of reach, in the chamber. Ah, that's the... Okay. A dove flew in through the window, and so she wrote a letter, tying it to the bird's leg and releasing it in the hopes that someone would come set her free. That letter ended up in my hands. If that's the case, then who locked her up? Was it the Saintess? The one I know? No, I don't believe the nun is aware. I think she's simply doing her job in good faith. Then who? Oh, that's gonna sting. Michael. I know very well that what I'm about to say will likely crush her. But I can't let that stop me. Who would do such a terrible thing? Nellie, I want you to brace yourself for what I'm about to say. There are 3 men participating in Morgana's imprisonment. And one of those 3 is your brother, Mel. I understand it's the last thing you wanted to hear. But please believe me, I would not say something so upsetting lightly. I wish to save Morgana, the true saint. And I would like your assistance. Without your help, I can't get her out of that tower. I need you to get through to Mel. Otherwise, both he and Morgana will remain entrapped. That's not true. Nellie. You're lying. You have to be. My Mel would never do something so horrible. You're a terrible liar. It's true. I swear to you. You think I'm gonna believe that? My Mel. My Mel's an amazing, wonderful person. He's not cruel and evil. He's good and kind, like a prince. And a prince who would never lock someone up. I know you're not blind, Nellie. You can see that all your prince talk has been putting pressure on him. So you think that's going to change my mind? He has no reason to do any of that. But he does, Nellie. He's certainly not happy about it, no. But he's doing it for you. What do you mean? He needs her blood to keep you healthy. So, to ensure he always had a supply. But no, he... And despite that, Saint's blood probably doesn't even have healing properties. No one benefits from doing this. Not you, not Mel, and certainly not Morgana. And I don't think anyone can stop him except you. Mel won't listen to me. Did you not just say you would talk things through with him? Just shut up. Stop talking already. I'm done listening to you. Nellie. I'll never believe you. You're not my brother anymore. You're just a horrible, horrible man. Who do you think you are to march in here and try to make my Mel into the bad guy? And after I made you my second brother. What's wrong with you? I trusted you. I ate nasty pie and had tea with you. But you're just a mean, evil man, here to turn me against my Mel. I know you don't want to believe me, but I'm telling you the truth, every word. I beg you to open your eyes. Ask him yourself. If you don't believe me, then ask Mel about Morgana. I guarantee you, he'll panic. Enough already. Get out of here. Get out this instant. Nellie. Don't say my name. Just go away. Get out of here. Now, I don't want to see you ever again. I should have chased you off the moment I saw you. Get out, now. I pray you can find it in yourself to open your eyes and face the truth. Get out! One last thing before I go, Nellie. What was that? What was that? What was just exchanged there? It was my only option. I know that. But I feel like all I accomplished by telling her was bringing her more pain. It's a difficult balance. We just have to pray that you were able to get through to her. What did he just... tell me what it just happened there. I'm sure she'll come around. If only we had a little more time. In 3 days, it will all be over. Morgana and the entire web of people connected to her will die. That's not enough time. Let's return to the mansion and look for Mel. I would like to speak with him. If there's a chance we can get the smallest bit of Nellie's feelings through to him, maybe he'll have a change of heart. Hopefully. It's hardly going to be elegant, but it's what must be done. Oh my god, what was that one last thing? Oh, this is driving me nuts. Absolutely nuts. Because I felt like, we had gotten, compared to, like, now in the story, compared to, like, at the very beginning, there's so much that we know. So it's like now any little bit that they tease is like, oh, we're not going to show you that right now. That's, oh, that's going to drive me nuts. Ah, did you just get back? The Sanctus was telling me you went to see Melly. What do you think? Sweet girl, isn't she? That she is. Though she can be a bit of a handful at times. I'm glad you could keep her company for a bit. Now, just to be sure, you kept a lid on all your crazy talk, right? She treated me to some tea, nothing more. Ah, that stuff with the flower petals in it, yeah? She thinks it's some kind of charm to make it taste better. Girls seem to have a thing for stuff like that. Oh, come on now. You have rose petal tea and you tell me that shit is not good? You are a liar. Now, I did, however, I don't know if I shared this or not, but okay, so I'm a huge tea guy. I grow and try so many different things for tea. Probably the worst thing I've ever experimented with in turning into a tea was a flower that grew off of a pumpkin plant. I would not give that to my worst enemy. That was awful. Don't do it. Don't. Now, but rose petals, oh my god, yes. Mel. Could you spare a bit of time for me? We need to talk. Oh, sure. Can it wait a bit, though? I have to run a little errand after supper. When I'm done with that, I'll meet you in your room. Oh, you're gonna go up to the observation tower, Mel? All right. You think the errand is bringing Morgana her meal, presumably? We might be able to catch the three of them opening the door if we trail Mel. You ain't gonna overpower 3 guys, dude. It's too big a risk. Mel's already wary enough as it is. I concur. And we don't know how the other 2 might react either. It's best to play it safe. No one's going to come to our defense if we're caught, not at this point in time. So we're better off waiting in our room. Agreed. Though winter has receded and spring is well upon the land, there's still a sharp chill in the night air. Even with the windows shut, the wind still manages to slip through the cracks, making the candle flame waver. Neither Giselle nor I can say much of anything. But nevertheless, when she does speak, the sound of her voice, soft and pleasant, relaxes my nerves. The faint sound of her breathing reminds me I'm not alone, and she's there, always watching over me. When the candle is about half gone, the door swings open. Sorry it took so long. What did you want to talk about? You didn't bring anyone with you? No, I didn't. Who do you think I would bring? No one. I was just checking. Now, I'll get straight to the point. You're afflicted with a great deal of remorse, are you not, Mel? Pardon? I know what you're doing. What you're involved with. I know the girl at the top of the observation tower very well. Oh. Her name is Morgana, and you have imprisoned her in the tower. The door requires 3 keys to open, of which you possess 1. You need her for her miracle blood. How? I came here to stop you. How do you know any of that? It's not possible. She could have told anyone. Did one of them tell you? No, it wasn't them. I was told all of this by Morgana herself. How could she? What I'm about to tell you is going to seem impossible, but every word of it is the truth. I'm not from this time. Many, many years after her death, Morgana's soul told me what happened to her. What? What are you even talking about? She's still alive. You're not from this time? What? Are you mad? Can you come up with any other explanation as to how I would know everything I know? There's a single window in the room at the top of the tower. A small, insignificant thing that sits high upon the wall. And entirely useless for communicating with the outside world. Salem loves pumpkin, by the way. Yes, I do. But pumpkin flower for tea, no. No. That is one of the worst. Honestly, that is one of the worst things I've ever tasted. Just because it's pumpkin does not... It's attached to the pumpkin plant. That means it's going to taste anything like the pumpkin. And that's the thing. I knew it wouldn't. But I had tried so many different flower-petaled teas before that it's I really thought, pumpkin, the flower and the pumpkin, because those things are huge, okay? Those flowers on pumpkin vines are absolutely giant. So I thought it would, be... I thought it would be a good fit. But no, that's the thing too. It's the pumpkin and flower didn't smell bad, but man, the actual tea itself didn't smell bad too. It's one of those things. Oh, 1 second, I just need a drink. It's one of those things where it's the flavor does not taste. It does not match the scent at all. So, and there's also the fact that I didn't realize this, but when I had, dried up the pumpkin petals and put them into the thing to hold the tea, there's little tiny, bristles or needles, or they're not thorns, but they're essentially thorns. I don't know what to call them, but they're all over in the pumpkin. Well, these things were so fine that they were getting out of the device I was using to keep the tea contents in. And so when I took a sip of it, the taste was awful. I spat it out. But later on that day, I felt like a prick in my mouth, and it hurt real bad. And I reached in, and it was a piece of that flower petal. So yeah, do not make a tea out of pumpkin flowers. Don't. Anyways. In 3 days' time, during the Harvest Festival, Morgana will die. And I must prevent that from happening. Prevent it? To do that, I need your key. Will you give it to me? There you go, talking nonsense again. I warned you not to kick up any dust, for your own sake. But I guess that didn't get through, huh? I don't care who you are or where you came from. All that matters is that you intend to stand in our way. What? Do you think I would just... Did you think I was just a helpless little boy? That you could take my key without any trouble? Well, you'd be right about that. If it was only me, stealing my key and setting her free would be a trivial matter. But it's not only me. And the other two, they won't hesitate to kill you. Your life, anyone's life, means nothing to them. You don't know what they're like. How terrifying they can be. They're killers. I'll tell them everything you told me. I'll tell them you know our secret. And don't come crying to me when they come for you. I warned you. Is that what you want? Will you find the comfort you seek by being their devoted little slave and keeping Morgana imprisoned in that tower? What else can I... If you feel at all ashamed about your part in this, if you want to do something to correct it, then you need to take that step. You can't fix this problem on your own, no. But I am here to help. I'm not ashamed about anything. Don't lie to yourself. Don't act like you know how I feel. What the hell is your deal anyway? You show up out of nowhere, spouting all this "I'll save you" and "I'm here to help" rubbish. You need to do this. For your sister. See, now that's ridiculous. If I wash my hands of this, I won't have access to the witch's blood anymore. And without that, Nellie can't get better. She'll die without that blood. Her blood has no miraculous healing powers. You only believe it does, making it appear to work. You're mad. Morgana's blood is not curing Nellie. In fact, it may be very well killing her. If you keep giving her that blood, Nellie will lose her life and during the harvest festival. What? You're standing on the... Oh my God. You're standing on the precipice of a horrific tragedy, and you're going to take everyone down with you if you don't turn back now. What are you... All three of you are going to lose everything on the day of the festival. And there's only one way to prevent that. You have to set Morgana free. You're insane if you think I would believe that. Nellie's gonna... die? Could you have told a more mean-spirited lie? You're the one who's trying to kill her. I'm just trying to save her. And you're gonna do that, and you're going about it the entirely wrong way. Do you have any idea how lonely your sister is right now? You should be at her side. That's what you should be doing instead of stealing a poor girl's blood. I've heard enough. What do you know? If I lose Nellie, I'll have no one. My whole world will collapse. This was the only way I could keep that from happening. This was the best option, my only option. So no, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep Morgana locked up. I'm going to keep stealing her blood. And I'll hand you over to the other two. I'll have them kill you. You'll regret ever showing your face. Oh, that's what okay, yeah, that's what Michael told Nellie. Oh shit. Nice. Mel, is that really true? Oh, damn. What? Do you really have the Saintess locked up? Why? What are you doing here, Nellie? That man told me I had to talk to you. And he said if I didn't have the courage to do it myself, to wait outside his room tonight, because he was going to get the truth from you. You conniving son of a... You were planning this all along.
Why would you tell Nellie? Why would you bring her of all people into this? Mel. Tell me, Mel. Is it true? Nellie, Are you really keeping the Saintess prisoner and stealing her blood? And you said you would have him killed. I never thought you were such a terrible person, Mel. I can't believe you do such despicable things. No, you're not my brother anymore. Nellie! Michael, go after her!
Oh, no, I didn't save! Oh my god! Oh shit! Okay, I'm gonna trust Giselle. I'm gonna trust Giselle. This is gonna be the better thing to do, I think. Oh my god! Wow! Ugh. We have to stop her. Bring her back. Oh man, that was... Oh, I feel so bad for Nellie now. Wow. Oh my god. Nellie!
Don't follow me. Just go away. Leave me alone.
Stop. If you run away from him now, Mel will never come back from this.
Then why did you have to tell me? Why did you tell me what he was doing? If you hadn't said anything, everything would still be fine. We wouldn't be in this horrible mess.
No. It would be going on, you wouldn't know. This has to come to light.
If you hadn't said anything, I could have kept on believing him.
No, things wouldn't be fine. Why can you not see that? You shouldn't put your faith in your ideal brother, but your real one. The boy in the room stricken with regret. If I hadn't said anything, the facade would have ruined you both sooner or later. No, in truth, your relationship was always broken. You were simply ignoring the spreading cracks. I know, on some level, you had realized that Mel was keeping something incredibly important from you. And that secret was tearing you apart.
There's nothing good about this, though. Now we'll never get back to the way we were. We can never go back to what it was like before we were kids, when we were kids. Just the two of us playing together, every day having fun. Everyone's childhood comes to an end. The flow of time is impartial. You cannot fight it. What you can do, what only you can do, is choose how you change. But, I will admit it. I'm the one who opened your wounds, and now I'm putting the responsibility of tending them onto you. It's cruel, I know. But if you didn't come to terms with Mel and make him withdraw his participation, even greater suffering awaits you in the far future. It's not over yet, and you cannot let this be where it ends. The bonds you formed over the years are not yet broken, and you can do what I was never able to. You can still repair your relationship. But I'm scared. Scared that my Mel could do such terrible things. That he could say he would kill you. He used to be such a good brother. He was always so kind, so friendly to everyone. But it was all a lie. It was it was all a big act to fool me. No. It was not all an act. There was truth to it. He is a kind-hearted boy, an ordinary young man, whose kindness was twisted by circumstance. And it doesn't matter how good a person someone is. Everyone has the potential to do terrible things when backed into a corner. You think you know everything? I know that much. Nellie, if you want your brother back, you have to act now. Please, you must take action. But I'm scared. What am I supposed to say to him? I don't know. I'll be there with you. You don't have to face this alone. There's more to the story than we've heard. We don't know how he got himself involved in this. And I mean to get the rest of it out of him. And you need to be there to hear it. If, when I hear what he has to say, I try to say something I shouldn't, if I try to say something that will ruin everything, you'll stop me? You're the one who told me to open my eyes and face him. You're the one who made this whole mess. What am I supposed to do if all this destroys everything I have? You said you'd be my brother, right? So be a good brother and help me out here. Promise me you'll make sure nothing goes bad. You'll do that, won't you? I'm saving. Oh, boy. Huh. I don't remember that one. Shit. I don't know what that was there for. That's not good. I'm gonna save right here. Okay. Michael, just say yes. We won't let this go bad. Have faith in yourself. Faith that you put their relationship on track to recovery. Promise her. Give her the courage she wants from you. You have nothing to fear. I'll be there for you. I'll help you both. Okay, I'll do it. I'll go back. Thank you, Giselle. Oh, don't mention it. Now, let's go see what he has to say for himself. Let's draw back that curtain. Yes, let's. Okay, I think I'm going to... I'll wrap this chunk up, and then hopefully we'll begin the path to the next key. And then once we do that, I think I'm going to cut it off there. Okay. Mira says, save more frequently in this chapter. Yeah, no shit. I think I'm learning that lesson now. Try making a fragrance out of it next time. Yeah, I'm not sure. That would actually be pretty nice, actually. Save like your life depends on it. Yep, Edgy, I am. I am. Nelly, I'm surprised he's still here. Mel? What did you come back for? To ridicule me? I'm not the brother you thought I was, huh? Not at all what you wanted me to be. It's all over. Everything Michael said is true. There's a girl imprisoned in the tower. A completely innocent girl. The girl who saved your life, in fact. Go on. Tell me how cruel and terrible and evil I am. I'm no prince. Here's an idea. Why don't you make him your new prince? You can do it, Nellie. Ask him. You have your reasons, don't you? You have some reason for being part of this, right? A reason? Yeah, I have a reason, all right. I wanted to save your life. I needed her blood to cure you, so I had her locked up. Tell me the truth. I don't remember much about when the Saintess came to visit, but I do remember a little. I remember her saying she would gladly give whatever she could to the sick and needy, which means you had no need to lock her up. It would seem the tale Morgana showed me was true. She really was a saint. Yes, she was. Tell me the truth, Mel. Tell me everything. There's nothing to tell. There is, I know it. There's more to a story than just the facts. The things you thought, the things you felt, are all pieces that combine to make the whole story. Isn't that right, Michael? You're exactly right. If you hadn't said anything, we could have gone on with our lives as normal. No, Mel, we couldn't have. I thought so too at first, but it's not true. Our normal lives ended long ago. Tell me the truth, Mel. No matter what it is, I can handle it. No, Nellie, you can't. A girl like you, who dreams of becoming a princess, couldn't possibly bear to see how hideous her brother has become. How can I know? How can I know if you don't say anything, though? That's how it's always been with us. You were nice to me, and that's all I needed. I never looked beyond the surface. I made you into my ideal brother, and latched onto that image of you. You're a kind person, Mel. You really are. So kind that you played along with my fantasy that you were a prince. But you don't have to act for me anymore. I want to know the real you. I'm all done being a princess. I'm just your little sister now, nothing more. Your one and only little sister, Mel. You need to do this, Mel. You need to tell your story. Until you do, we have no way of understanding what you've been through, what you're going through. No way. If I tell you, you'll lose any hope you had left in me. As Nellie has, you need to release yourself from your own idealized fantasy, Mel. You have someone right here who will accept you for who you are. I know good and well just how hard it is, how hard it can be to have someone dear to you see a side of you that you didn't want to show them. Oh shit, I think I skipped I think you want to get it off your chest, though. Oh, no, I didn't miss anything. My bad. And I think you want forgiveness. Fantasies are not everlasting. They all crumble eventually. Show us the real Mel. Tell us your story, without embellishments or omissions. Mel. Oh, okay. I'll tell you, not like I have any other options. Nellie, if at any point you can't bear to hear anymore, so be it. You're free to leave whenever you like. I won't go anywhere. I can almost guarantee you. I pray that ends up being true. Alright, here goes. The whole story, from start to finish, of how I ended up in this mess. I'm looking forward to this part. Now, let's see here. Mel, even your little sister's more mature than you? Yeah, which is kind of weird because she's been a little brat for most of this. Until around the time I turned 17, my life was almost uneventful. On the days when it was nice out, I would take walks around the house's grounds, sometimes napping beneath a tree. It was picturesque, and you were always there with me. You have the same flax-colored hair as me, but yours always seemed to glisten in the sun, whereas mine is flat and dull. You shone like a tiny little dancing sun. At the time, I assumed that was how life would always be. I genuinely wanted it to be. Following my 17th birthday, though, I was met with a deluge of changes. First, father fell ill and passed away shortly thereafter. With his death came the question of who would be the next head. As the oldest son, normally it would fall on me to take his place. I was 17, by all means enough of an adult to handle things myself. Or, well, that's what I thought anyway. Nobody else did, though. After discussions I had no part in, it was decided that my uncle would be the next head. That they weren't confident I had the spine to do the job properly. I wasn't sure what to think. Part of me wanted to know why nobody bothered talking to me, and part of me was relieved. Somewhere inside, I knew I didn't have what it took. So I was more than happy to let someone else take that responsibility.
Didn't expect Mel to be the mature one here, yeah.
Oh, man. Man, I couldn't go on with my quiet life. I didn't care who they picked. My uncle, though, seemed to have caught on to my apathy, which he did not take kindly to. And in response, he formally disowned me. You're not the only one who still had some growing up to do, Nellie. I wasn't quite the adult I'd thought I was either. That's a pretty shitty thing to do, though. After some kid's parents die, you take over the estate, then you disown them. That is bullshit, though. Like, I get it. You know, he should have taken more. He should have stood up and been more hands-on, but that's still shitty. Fortunately, if you want to call it fortune, I was given enough money to live on for a decent length of time, as well as a place to stay. It was a small house, far from home, his way of making it hard for me to come back. Not that I had any intention of returning, but the best thing to come out of it all was you coming with me, Nellie. So this is our new home, dearest Mel. Yep, so it is. It's amazing how little there is. No big yard, no paintings, no vase filled with colorful flowers, no silver bowls full of fresh picked fruit. But there is you and me. You're not going to go and say you want to return home in a couple of months when you realize life isn't as luxurious here as it was back there, are you? There's only one thing in the whole world that I really need. Oh? Honestly, I can live without shiny shoes and pretty dresses like Mother wears. I don't need composers to come and write me songs for my birthday. As long as I have the one thing that matters most to me, I can do without anything else. Are you saying? I'm as happy as I've ever been. I don't need all that fancy, expensive stuff. We may not have a huge yard, but the sun shines everywhere. Flowers can grow even without a gardener tending to them. Nellie, I'll do whatever I can for you. My dearest Mel. Are you hungry? I'm hungry. Oh, yeah, a bit. All right, I'll make something then. Start off with some fruit jam. Then maybe make a pie out of it. What else sounds good? I'm craving cookies. You got quite the sweet tooth. You're gonna make yourself sick like that. That's the first smile I've seen since we got here. What? That can't be right. I'm sure I've been smiling. Nope, you've been frowny all day. Whatever you say. Forget all that stuff at home. We've got each other. We can do this. Who cares that we're not rich anymore? We'll figure things out in no time. And then we'll have even more fun than we did back there. Yeah, you're right. It'll all work out, dearest Mel. I'll always be there for you. You've got yourself an adorable little princess. What more could you possibly need? Cheer up. Thanks. I'm really glad you decided to come with me. Oh, did you think for a second I wouldn't? I'm your princess, dearest Mel. And princesses belong with their princes. I suppose so. Until that day, I'd never known how good it felt to have someone who wanted me in their life, who saw me for me. I realized for the first time how blessed I had always been. I was hardly a prince material. I wasn't strong or handsome or regal enough for that. But Nellie calling me her prince gave me the illusion of being worth something. It made me feel like I could keep on being that richly blessed young man, even this far away from home. Well, I had been given some money. My supply was far from infinite. I knew I'd eventually have to find some kind of work, some way to support myself and Nellie. But to be quite honest, I couldn't gather the motivation to do much of anything. My whole life had changed so abruptly, so dramatically, that my mind just wasn't able to keep up. Yeah. It had knocked me to my backside, and I didn't have the strength to get back up. I couldn't tell Nellie that, of course. So this is what I said instead. I'm staying home because I want to be with you as much as possible. And she happily took me at my word. Our new life together was quiet and unremarkable. Even so, it was still a constant stream of new experiences for the two of us, having been pampered our entire lives.
You know what? I think I'm gonna call it there. I'm starting to feel kind of and my throat is really hurting. Mostly because I need some water, but still, I think even some water is not gonna assist me in recovering that right now. So, yeah. So we got Mel to crack a little bit. He's gonna give us his side of the tale that probably is gonna lead up to him revealing where Morgana is, and that will lead to Morgana being dragged to the tower and everything. But yeah, I'm looking forward to some more. Though, still didn't get the
the one question, which was about the white-haired girl. I'm still looking forward to that. But I actually thought this part was going to be pretty quick, but no, we are going to dissect essentially each of these characters that holds the key, it seems. So it'll be interesting. Alrighty, so yeah, I will let you all know when I'm going to be streaming again. And like I said, just life has been so crazy recently, and also, you know, trying to look after myself with this thing that I got going on. Just I didn't, you know, when I first started this playthrough, you know, I was doing it like every few days, or every other day, or every few days, you know, and it was fun to be able to do that. But right now, just not able to. So, but first time that I know I've got a moment to continue the story and stream, I will let you all know. And yeah, big thanks to everybody who came by to watch. I hope that you're enjoying it so far. And yeah, it'd be nice to see what we do now. Because I guess the one thing I'm really, you know, in the immediate, that I'm really looking forward to seeing is when we meet Yukimasa. Because that's going to be interesting, just because, like I said, I'm getting the feeling that his name then and here is not going to be Yukimasa. So I'm kind of curious, like, you know, how much of his character and personality remains the same. But, you know, there's going to be quite a bit about him that's going to be very different. Or at least that's my prediction. So, anyways. So, yeah, I appreciate you folks watching. You know, big thanks to, you know, Edgy, always good to see you. Brett, good to see you. Then we had Mira stop by. Hope that you enjoyed it as well. Oh, and actually there was a point where it was like, it said like 7 or 8 folks watching. You know, yeah. Hope that you folks were enjoying it. And yeah, but for now, we'll save. And I hope that you guys are all taking it easy and staying safe, and you know, just staying happy. And if that's a little hard to come by right now, just hold on out. There's always a break in the clouds somewhere, you know. And if you feel like you got to do something to achieve that, don't sit on by and let it pass you. You take hold of that, because that can never be understated how important that is in life. So, anyways, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you all later. Take care.